16 countries threaten to be underwater by 2050. Rising sea levels, due to climate change, pose a significant threat to many countries around the world, especially those with low-lying coastal regions. As these waters continue to rise, entire nations face the risk of becoming submerged, leading to unprecedented humanitarian and environmental crises. Here are 16 countries that are particularly at risk of being underwater by 2050 if current trends continue. 1. Maldives. The Maldives, an archipelago in the Indian Ocean, is the lowest-lying country in the world, with an average elevation of just 1.5 meters above sea level. Rising sea levels threaten to inundate its 1,200 islands, making them uninhabitable and posing a severe risk to the nation's future. 2. Bangladesh. Bangladesh, with its densely populated delta regions, is highly vulnerable to sea level rise. A significant portion of the country's land lies just a few meters above sea level. Flooding and saltwater intrusion threaten agriculture, livelihoods, and infrastructure, potentially displacing millions of people. 3. Netherlands. Much of the Netherlands is already below sea level, protected by an extensive system of dikes, pumps, and storm surge barriers. However, rising sea levels and increased storm intensity could overwhelm these defenses, putting cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam at risk of flooding. 4. Tuvalu. Tuvalu, a small Pacific island nation, faces the threat of complete submersion due to rising sea levels. The country's highest point is only about 4.6 meters above sea level, making it extremely susceptible to even modest increases in sea level. 5. Kiribati. Kiribati, another Pacific island nation, consists of 33 atolls and reef islands, with many of its islands just a few meters above sea level. Rising waters threaten to submerge them, leading to the potential displacement of the entire population. 6. Marshall Islands. The Marshall Islands, located in the Central Pacific Ocean, are at risk due to their low elevation. Rising sea levels, combined with more frequent and intense storms, pose a significant threat to the island's habitability and freshwater supply. 7. Seychelles. The Seychelles, an archipelago in the Indian Ocean, faces threats from sea level rise, coastal erosion, and storm surges. These factors endanger both the island's ecosystems and the livelihoods of those who depend on tourism and fishing. 8. Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islands in the South Pacific are already experiencing the effects of rising sea levels, with some islands reporting significant coastal erosion and saltwater intrusion. These changes threaten communities and biodiversity. Fiji. Fiji, known for its tropical islands, is vulnerable to rising sea levels and more frequent cyclones. Coastal communities and infrastructure are at risk, prompting the government to consider relocation plans for affected populations. 10. Vanuatu. Vanuatu, a Pacific island nation, faces severe risks from rising sea levels, which threaten to inundate coastal areas and disrupt agriculture. The country is also highly vulnerable to natural disasters like cyclones and volcanic eruptions. 11. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea, with its extensive coastline and numerous islands, is threatened by rising sea levels and increased storm intensity. Coastal erosion and saltwater intrusion jeopardize local communities and ecosystems. Micronesia. Micronesia, a region in the western Pacific Ocean, comprises thousands of small islands and atolls. Rising sea levels threaten to submerge low-lying areas, displacing communities and impacting freshwater resources. 13. Egypt. Egypt's Nile Delta, one of the world's most fertile agricultural regions, is at risk for rising sea levels and saltwater intrusion. This could lead to loss of farmland, increased salinity of freshwater sources, and displacement of millions of people. 14. Vietnam. Vietnam's Mekong Delta is highly susceptible to sea level rise, which threatens to flood agricultural land, disrupt local economies, and displace millions of residents. The delta is a critical region for rice production and fisheries. 15. Philippines. The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, faces significant threats from rising sea levels, typhoons, and storm surges. Coastal communities and infrastructure are particularly vulnerable, necessitating urgent adaptation measures. 16. Thailand. Thailand's low-lying coastal regions, including Bangkok, are at risk from sea level rise and increased flooding. The country's economy, heavily reliant on tourism and agriculture, could be severely impacted by these changes. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.